What up, fam? It's your girl Vita. Hey, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. And I'm actually doing this video because my awesome ass Metamore requested it. So, you're getting this video because of Rosalind. So she asked me to do a video. I did one once on my Facebook page. And so she asked me to do one here about the phenomenon of cucumbers and grapes or comparisons in your polyamorous relationship. So, More Than Two by Franklin Vo and Eve Rickert is like the bomb.com book on how to live polyamorously. It's very, very exhaustive. It's super thorough. I have a copy of it right here. More Than Two by Franklin Vo and Eve Rickert. And perhaps I'll do like a separate review just on this book. I haven't read many books on the subject of non-monogamy and polyamory, only 3. I've read More Than Two. I've read The Ethical Slut, and then Love Is Not Colorblind by Kevin Patterson. But I could do a separate review on this. But in the book, they talk about a phenomenon that comes up very commonly in polyamorous relationships. And I'm going to read a small excerpt just so you can know what I'm talking about, and then kind of go into how it has played out in my life. And the different things that I've gone through, or how I've like framed my thinking to kind of deal with this thing that happens very commonly in polyamorous relationships. And so I'm just going to start by reading the passage. It's on page 288, and it's called Of Monkeys and Cucumbers. You may have seen this on YouTube or TED by now. Primatologist Frans de Waal has experimented with primate reactions to inequality by placing 2 monkeys within sight of each other and rewarding them for doing a small task, such as handing a rock to a human aid. The reward is either a tasty piece of cucumber or an even tastier grape. When both monkeys get a cucumber, everything's fine. They'll happily complete the task dozens of times. But give one of them a cucumber and one of them a grape, and watch out, the lower paid monkey completely loses it, throws the cucumber back at the aid, pounds the floor, rattles the cage. Like any good scientist, de Waal has repeated this experiment many times with different species and variations, same result. Now, why is that relevant to this discussion? Because a lot of times we compare in our polyamorous relationships, and we compare what we think is a cucumber and what we think is a grape. So, to give you an example, Kevin and I are married. We have 3 kids. We live together. Our finances are intertwined. So a lot of our life is spent doing a lot of like really unsexy shit. Laundry, dishes, bill planning, all those things that kind of sap like the sexy out of life. Like, there's nothing sexy about adult life, man. It sucks. So a lot of our life together is spent kind of like with a lot of that kind of sexy time, or the sexiness of life, the spicy stuff kind of being drained because our lives are very mundane together. We're just kind of going through life together, taking care of business. Whereas his relationship with Rosalind is a lot more fun, quote unquote, because when he goes to see her, he carves out, 2-3 days of time where he can just focus exclusively on her. They can go out, they can go on dates, they can, just spend time together, just focusing on each other, just a large quantity or portion of time that Kevin and I just don't have because of the way our lives are. They're intertwined. And so while I could look over the fence at his relationship with Rosalind and get in my feelings and go, well, she seems to have the better relationship with him, or she has all the grapes because she gets to do all the fun stuff with him. What I don't see when I'm too busy looking into her relationship and not really focusing on mine is all the joys that I have of having Kevin nearby every day. I can come home from a hard day at work and get a hug from Kevin and have him spoil me. If I'm sick, he takes care of me. We can sit on the couch together at night and, just fall asleep in each other's arms watching TV together. We can partner together on a life struggle. Hey, I'm going through this life struggle, and he holds my hand through it. These are things that Rosalind just doesn't have because of the nature of her relationship with him. And if I'm not really focusing on the joys of my relationship and being grateful for the things that I have with Kevin, and like I said, I'm too busy looking over the fence at what she has with him, then it can cause me to not really enjoy my relationship with him. I try to remember that I'm having the relationship with Kevin that I chose to have. I could have stayed the way Rosalind is to him. Like, like I could have make, and I can still make that choice. I can say, you know what, this marriage thing ain't really working for me. I don't really want to live with you like this, so I'm gonna go ahead and move out. But I still want to be together, and can we have a relationship that looks a little bit more like this? Like, I can still make that choice technically, but I'm having the relationship with him that I choose to have, just like she's having the relationship with him that she chooses to have. And that, what looks like a grape and what looks like a cucumber, like even it's kind of funny in this group, or in this book rather, because Kevin and I have both read this book. And Franklin Vo talks about a situation and he calls it a cucumber, and Kevin like highlighted in there and said that it was a grape to him, whereas to me it would have been a cucumber. So even like what we see as grapes and cucumbers in the relationship itself is subjective to each individual person. So I'm not one of those kinds of people that says that you shouldn't compare your relationships. Like a lot of people say that don't compare your relationship. But I think that's a little silly to say, because like human beings are going to compare. You're going to compare your relationships. I mean, it's just something that we do as human beings. So I've like kind of gotten myself away from the concept of saying, Vita, don't compare, because I feel like I'm a human being. Part of humanity is, we compare things. I think what I try to focus on is, even if a relationship looks more fun or on the surface, or it looks like he may have more things that he enjoys in that other relationship, that my relationship with him still has value. And I just need to trust in that, even if I don't have the more fun relationship, that my relationship is still a valuable relationship to him nonetheless. I also need to learn that if I'm feeling like I'm getting all the cucumbers and not getting enough grapes, that I need to advocate for some more grapes, and I need to find out what grapes looks like for me, and then communicate that to my partner and say, hey, we need more of this in our relationship because I'm not feeling like I'm getting enough. I think one of the things I try to focus on is not really feeling that way, because I feel like that breeds, like that's a breeding ground for resentment. So like if I'm like looking at her going, you have the more fun relationship, you guys get to do this and you guys get to do that together, then I start resenting the time that they have together, and I start resenting his relationship with her. And that's just not something I want to do. That's not something that I'm comfortable with doing. Because I want to feel good about their relationship. I want to be a supporter of their relationship. I want to bring like positive energy to their relationship. And so if I'm sitting there kind of looking over the fence all the time at what she has with him and feeling away, I'm not really going to feel good about their interactions. And then that's going to play out in how I deal with his relationship and how I treat his relationship. So, there are things that I would appreciate about like what he has with Rosalind, but I'm pretty sure there are things that she would appreciate about what he has with me. That's the same thing. So we have the relationship with Kevin that we choose. And, before we started doing this, when Kevin and I were just monogamous together, that was fine. The relationship that we had and, kids and all that stuff was okay. It's only because now he has something with somebody else that I'm looking at my relationship with him and going, I don't like this. I wish it was different. It's like, but before it was fine. Before there was anything else to look at, my relationship with him was fine. So I think what we need to focus on is just going, number one, comparison to me is just a human thing. It's just something that we're going to do. But, I feel like everything has to be done kind of in moderation. If you're comparing your relationship with your partner to the point where you can't even enjoy it because you're too busy looking at somebody else's relationship, well, then you got a problem. So you're going to compare, you're going to make those comparisons. That's just real. But don't let that cause you to not look at the relationship that you have with your partner and value it, because obviously your partner values the relationship that they have with you because you're still there. So you have to learn to kind of go, hey, I'm having the relationship that I want to have with my partner. I'm making the choice that I want to have the relationship that I want to have. If I want to have something different with my partner, I can make a different choice. And that if I'm feeling like I'm not getting the things that I want and need out of my relationship, or it's not fulfilling for me, then I need to advocate for the things that I want and need. I need to talk. I need to communicate. I need to talk to my partner about getting my needs met, and not just, sulk in the corner about what they're doing with somebody else, because that honestly really doesn't matter to me and him. But, that it really has nothing to do with me and him. I'm more concerned about just making sure that my relationship or my yard is flourishing rather than looking at the grass in somebody else's yard. I'm more concerned about like tending to my own grass. And a lot of this stuff is just keeping your eyes on your own damn paper. But, just going, you know what, I'm just going to focus on my tests, my homework, what I got going on. And I'm not really going to worry about what he's got going on with somebody else because that doesn't really fix my relationship. It doesn't do anything for my relationship. It's kind of like, being in what he has with somebody else. I'd rather just be in what he has with me. And so I hope that was helpful and was coherent. Like I said, I really don't script these. This is really just me sitting down talking about, my experiences and the things that I have observed in my relationship. And so I probably should like jot some notes down because I'm sure like I always remember something that I wanted to say and then like forgot about it. But your girl is lazy. So anyways, I hope that was helpful and that gave you some things to chew on. And yeah, like don't really, I mean, you're gonna compare. I think that's just a human thing to do, but just love the relationship that you're in, honestly. Like really just love your partners, love the relationships that you're in, support their endeavors, and you'll be all right. You'll be all right. And talk to your partners too, like when you're feeling that feeling, like I feel like you're having more fun with someone else, like talk to them so they can reassure you, like, no, my relationship with you is important to me. My relationship with you has, is value to me. I like that, we do the laundry together. Like, you know what I mean? That's a part of our relationship that I enjoy, so you never know. You might be surprised to find out that what you're sitting here thinking is a cucumber, your partner is totally, totally like graping out on and going, this is the part of my relationship I love, us like battling through the finances together, like that's something that they may appreciate. So, talk to your partners when you're in your feelings and going, hey, I feel like I'm getting all the cucumbers and so is getting all the grapes. And, they might be able to offer you a different perspective and make you see things differently. So anyways, like I said, I hope that was helpful, and I'm going to go. This video is like almost 12 minutes long, and I told you I'm trying to keep these to 10 minutes. But anyways, have a good Tuesday. I have a date with Jesse today for lunch, and I'm excited because it's been a couple of days since I've seen him. Wednesday nights is my nights with Jesse. I always go to their houses on Wednesday, or their house, excuse me, on Wednesday nights. But that means I usually only see him about once a week, and I was supposed to see Jesse on Saturday for Mother's Day. Him and Jeanette were going to take me to lunch, but he was sick, so he couldn't come, so just Jeanette took me out. So we're going to lunch today. I miss my baby, so I'll be looking forward to seeing him. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday and that video was helpful. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning here, so I'm not like super turned up. So I have to get y'all another one where I'm like, wah! So you guys see that part of me. But anyways, kisses. Enjoy. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.